Coming up on today's episode. Hi, we are back once again on the Baylor 6 radio. Found some interesting things out. It does not have an open loop. It was, as Bob suspected, miswiring. At some point, this radio has been worked on, and whoever worked on it got it wrong. That's the plain and simple truth of it. I'm looking for my pointer. Can't find it, naturally. Use the other one, I guess. So what happened was, this is going to be difficult to show, but there's 4 color wires here coming out of the coil of the antenna loop stick. What it is there's a green and yellow that are one coil. I'm sorry, green and yellow here that are one coil, and a blue and a white that are the other coil. Now the blue and the white is the big coil. That is the antenna coil itself. The other coil, the green and the yellow, is the oscillator coil. And all of that was completely hooked up wrong. And as such, I have corrected that now. I have, and if we look at the schematic diagram, we're looking at the oscillator coil, which is A5, I think. I haven't got my glasses on. I think it's A5. It's down there below 0.8 on the circuit trace. We're seeing that L2 is what it says down there. Anyway, the deal is on that one, I've got the yellow one, which is okay. So yellow wire now we have hooked up to 0.5, which is one side of the coil. And the other green wire we have going to ground, which is obviously the other end of the coil. So that is working out okay, I do believe. And so for the other one, we have the blue and the white hooked up to points 1 and 2. And I don't know if those are backwards or not. We have no way of knowing that, but I don't think it matters. You know, it could, but I don't think it does. But like I said, we have it's basically the same exact situation. Now we did take the oscilloscope and put it on the collector of the X1, and it looks, and this is my old B&K scope. It looks, I think I'll put a picture in here. It looks like there is a oscillating signal there. Just for reference, I had the scope as sensitive as it would go and the probe on ×1, and like I said, that was what we saw. And I didn't try tuning the radio. I should have, but this tuning capacitor on the little radio there is the little dial wheel, as you can see it up here. It doesn't attach very good onto the shaft of that. I've got to figure out a fix for that, and once I get that fixed, then I can leave it on there and it will stay there. But I think that would probably be the way to do it. If that varies when I turn the dial, then we would know if that is actually an oscillator signal that we were looking at. But so anywho, that's where we're at now. Nothing out of the speaker other than the static and the hum that I had. I think most of the hum came from my soldering station over there, so it's picking that up. If that's a good thing or not, I don't know. But anyway, that's where that came from. And like I said, once I turned it off, the hum went away, pretty much all the way, but it's still there a little bit. But like I said, it is... right now, we have the antenna. There is continuity between points 1 and 2 now. I forget the actual ohmage, but let me tell you that I had the loop stick completely disconnected from everything. Between the blue and the white, there measures around 21.3 ohms, and I forget the exact reading on the other one, but it was, I think, 6 point something. on the other one, on the green and the yellow, and that was completely disconnected. So those do show continuity at least, and like I said, according to the schematic, the primary of that A7 there is 7.6. So, we have no way of knowing what the secondary is, so we can just assume that's correct. But we know, pretty sure anyway, that the larger of the two coils is the antenna coil, and the shorter or the smaller coil is the oscillator coil, and that's the way we've got it hooked up. Now, as to whether or not it's backwards, we don't know, and whether or not it matters, we don't know. So that's where we're at right now, until I can figure out something else here. That's just the way it's going to have to stay, I guess. But like I say, I'll keep on plugging away at it and see if we can get another breakthrough. But like I said, at least I don't have to go looking for another loop stick, because that one is correct. Or, well, I assume. See, there's another thing. This may be a replacement loop stick that somebody tried to put on there to fix a problem with the old one that was on there. But now it does fit this perfectly, so they had to get pretty lucky to do that, I would think. But anyway, the only other thing I can think of is to try to reverse the leads, maybe, or something like that. And that's a whole other ball of wax, because you can reverse one set, and then does that fix anything? And then you reverse the other one. Well, then are two of them backwards now, or just one of them? So you don't really know how that would work. But and I can't see the antenna coil making a big difference, because it's kind of out there in space. It's not really, other than the oscillator part of it, it's not really necessary for anything. Now again, the oscillator, I can't see that having anything to do, because one coil should not really affect the other one, other than, there's obviously some connection there. I mean, small bit. But like I said, I don't. They're not really supposed to connect or to affect each other. So, like I said, I don't really see the importance of the orientation of which ends go where. But of course, we all know how picky oscillators are and things like that. So I think what I'm going to do is try to get this tuning wheel, shaft, whatever you want to call it, fixed to where this tuning dial will stay on, and that way I can have the radio over on its side or whatever that I need to do, and turn that wheel and look at the scope and see if it does vary the. It should make it wider or narrower. As you saw there, the image, it should make it wider or narrower when I move that. So, like I said, that may be the next case of action, and we'll see. So, we'll be back later. All right, I need to clarify something before we go on. I made a mistake. Bob had to correct me on this. Well, actually, it got to bugging me because I couldn't figure out how this antenna worked. Again, there's the antenna. Got that separated. The yellow and the green are one coil. The blue and the white are the other coil. The larger coil, I should say. So what we have is, if we look at A7 on the schematic there on the converter section, that is that antenna. My mistake was I thought that part of that came down and connected to the 0.5 down there at the oscillator, the A5, that's the oscillator coil, and that's the little red thing right there. That is the oscillator coil there. So my mistake was I assumed that yellow and green wire connected down there, and that was not correct. It connects right here on this. The yellow lead, I had it here on this terminal of the tuning capacitor, and the green would basically go to the middle one, which is ground. Now, if we look at the other side, that is A4 down there at 0.5. That is the same thing, only it is all internal. It has nothing to do with the antenna. It just connects to the oscillator coil. That's the only thing it does. And you can see it down there. If you look at that again, There's also a tap in the middle of that coil that goes back and provides feedback up to the transistor itself and gives you your oscillation. So I wanted to correct that before we went on. So I'm going to put it in the diagram on the picture there so you can see how the wiring is set up and how I don't know if you can see, there's little tabs on here that I've been using to do combinations of different combinations so I can try out things with that loop stick. I even tried another loop stick, so you'll hear about that later. But like I say, if I mention this setup later on in the video, you'll know this is the correct way it is. Yellow goes here, green goes here to ground, blue and white go here and here. One is the base, and this is the transistor. That's the base of the transistor there. And that is the emitter, or not the emitter, but the other side of the equation, which is 0.2 on the schematic there. If you look at that, there's a cap and a resistor there. And both of them are shown. 33K resistor right there. You can even see the colors. And that is that point right there. So that is all the way that works, and I just kind of want to point that out before we went on. I kept looking at that antenna. I'm thinking, well, there's something that's not connected, or we don't have enough wires because, it looked to me like there were 6 connections on that, but, it couldn't be, so there's only 4. So, all right, just wanted to clear that up before we went any further, so there you go. I am back once more with the Baylor 6, the little bastard, if you will. I have taken the loop stick, AM loop stick, back off again. I disconnected it from the tuning capacitor over here, the yellow bar, as you can see right there. I wanted to double check my work, and it's probably a good thing I did because I did mess it up. Yeah, believe it or not, I messed it up. The problem here is I have the green and the blue wire going to the same point. That is not correct. The green wire should go to ground, and there is a ground on here, a hole for the ground, and I don't know what I was doing, but I messed it up. So the green wire needs to come off of here, and the blue wire can stay if it will, but again, the green wire is not in the proper location. So that is what I'm going to do, take that off, because it did not work that way. So hopefully, once I take that off and put it in the correct location, it will work. So we shall see what we shall see, so join me for that. Alright, I am back once again. I did change the leads around. Now the what do you call it goes to there. The wire, orange or yellow wire, goes to the cap there, and the green wire goes to ground as it should, and I still have exactly the same thing. So I'm going to do some more checking on this and find out. There are 2 leads there for the cap. There's one on each side, and the ground is in the middle on that cap. That's the tuning cap I'm talking about. So I don't know how you can see that, but there's a lead there, there's one over there, and then the middle one is the ground. So I'm going to check all 3 of those, make sure that those are connected properly. Being as the antenna was so far off and misconnected, it's very possible that someone put the yellow wire on the wrong side of the capacitor. So going to check into that next, and we'll bring you back once we find out if there's any difference. Alright, I am back once again. I have tried just about everything I can think of to get this thing to work. Obviously, I've taken the loop stick off the radio completely. I double checked the values of the coils on the antenna loop stick, and the blue and the white are one coil, the biggest coil, because it measures the most ohmage, and they measure I've gotten different measurements from these, so it's varied from 18 to 21, something like that. The yellow and the green wires on the coils are the separate coil, and they are the smaller of the two. I think they measure about 5.6 ohms. So, I've tried to reverse them. I've tried to reverse the polarity on each one, and I've done everything I can think of to make a difference in this radio, and nothing I have done. I've even put some little leads on there, as you can see, so I can do quick, changes with clip leads and things like that. Nothing I've done has made any difference at all. I still don't believe the oscillator is running. I could have swore it sounds like radio noises coming out of it, but it's not picking up. I tried using the signal generator to insert a 1 megahertz and a 1.5 megahertz signal into the radio. Neither one of those come through. 455 comes through flying colors. It's no problem at all. So I think that means the oscillator is not running. So that's my opinion only. So what I have decided to do is put this up for suggestions. How's that? Anybody who has a suggestion on what I should try next, and I will do these in the next episode on this. Now, I can't promise when that'll be because I'm trying to do several things at once here and not having success in any of them. So, you get a little bit, don't want to say depressed, but you get a little downhearted or down, you know what I'm saying? You figure, well, what am I doing all this for? It's not working. I've gotten a long way with this radio, but, I've hit a roadblock, obviously. Now, I don't know, I'm just about to the point where I'm thinking about taking out the mixer oscillator transistor, double checking that, making sure all that is correct. I hate to actually keep doing stuff like this because these traces on these little transistor radios are not that robust. And every time I do something, that's one of the reasons I added these jumpers here, because if I tried to just keep, taking these wires off and putting them in different places, eventually something's going to break. Either the wires on the loop stick's going to break, or something in here is going to mess up. And I just hesitate to do that. So, same thing with the transistor. If I keep trying to take that out and move it around, I've double checked the wiring on this as far as I can tell, and it is correct. I even went over it with Bob because I had some concerns about how it was wired, and I think we've got that straightened out now. I understand a little bit better how it is wired. And so anyway, what the deal is, I think, like I say, I'm going to put this out for suggestions. If you will leave a comment, or you can, if you don't want to leave a public comment, you can email me. My email, I will put my email down in the description. You guys probably already know it. mosslike@gmail.com. It's not that hard. So if you have a suggestion, and you'd like to see me try that on camera, I will do that next time. If there is a lot of suggestions and they are different, I may have to cut this up into different sections, but we will get it done and get this uploaded, because I think the radio itself is in pretty good shape, and it's a little bastard's what it is. Anybody's hearing the phone go off, that's my daughter. She's getting out of the hospital in Chicago. She's been up there for several days, having a problem with her pulmonary hypertension, and so I think she's coming home today, and she's happy. I'm happy. Everybody's happy she's coming home. Now, she does have to go back, I think, in a month. They did the left side of her lung, and I think they're going to have to do the right side as well. But she does say she is feeling better, so we're all happy about that. But that's what the noise is there. Anyway, back to this. Again, suggestions, comment, or email me. It doesn't matter which. I'm available for either one. And again, Whatever you'd like to see me try. If you don't have the schematic for this, I will also try to post a link for that so that you can look at it and see. Like I said, it is obviously from the antenna, and it is getting through this transistor. It may not be oscillating. This is the mixer oscillator here. But it may not be oscillating, but it's getting through it because I can put that 455 here at the antenna. It comes right through the whole radio just fine. I verified it with the HP as well. I put that on 455. It works just fine. And like I said, the way I'm looking at it, it's just not oscillating. Now, I did have an oscillation. I thought I will insert that image. It was on the scope here at the bench. And Bob wants me to check it again with the signal, or not the digital scope, so that we can see the frequency of that signal if it's at all possible. And that's what we plan on doing here eventually. But for right now, like I said, if you guys have got a suggestion on what you'd like to see me try, or something that you think might be the problem, it obviously has to be in the RF section, oscillator related, mixer oscillator. If you think that transistor is not the right transistor, I don't care, whatever you think. But like I said, I could swap it with this one because I know this one's working. It's getting through the second IF, no problem. So, like I said, and it is getting through that one too. And I checked them both the same. So anyway, like I said, if you have a suggestion on what I should try, give me a comment or email, whatever you want to do, and I will do that in the next episode of this this old radio. This little bastard. How's that? So until then, I'm going to get off here and let you guys get back to what you're doing. I think I'm going to try, and it'll be a different episode or whatever, but I think I'm going to try to switch this while I'm sitting here at the bench, swap out that transistor and see if I can see if that's going to work. Because like I said, this was a very, nothing I do is simple, but this was supposed to be a very simple operation. Replace the transistor, boom, it's done. Not having the exact same transistor, I know that's a problem, but still this should have been, easy. And again, this was not the right transistor, obviously. So, all right. You guys have a great day. Thank you so very much for watching, and we will see ya.